Hey everyone, get ready to shrink way, way down because today we're going on an adventure into the super tiny world of bacteria and viruses. It's going to be a wild ride.
All right, let me start with a question for you. Have you ever, actually met a bacteria? You're probably thinking, no way. Well, I've got a little secret. You totally have. In fact, you've already met millions, probably billions of them just today.
I'm not kidding. They are absolutely everywhere. They're in the dirt outside, they're on your skin, they're even having a party inside your tummy right now helping you digest your lunch. We're totally surrounded by these invisible neighbors. Okay, so since they're all around us, let's get to know them a bit better. First up in our lineup of tiny invisible neighbors, let's talk about bacteria.
So, what in the world is a bacteria? Well, think about this. You're made of trillions of tiny pieces called cells, right? A bacterium is a living thing that's made of just one single cell. How crazy is that? A whole living creature in one tiny little package. Now here's where it gets really interesting. It's kind of like a superhero movie. Some bacteria are the good guys, the heroes. The ones in our gut, they're total sidekicks, helping us get energy from our food. But then you've got the villains, the bad guys, like salmonella, that can make us really sick. And get this, bacteria are super social. They don't usually hang out alone. Nope, they love to build huge cities together, where millions of them live all packed in. We call these bacterial cities colonies. All right, so we've met Team Bacteria, but they're not the only players in this invisible game. It's time to meet their rival. Let's talk about bacteria versus the virus. Okay, prepare to have your mind blown. A virus isn't really alive. What? I know, it's so weird. Think of it like a tiny little capsule with a secret message inside. It's just a shell with instructions. It can't do anything by itself. It can't eat, it can't grow. It's just there. So let's break it down. Bacteria are totally alive. They can make more of themselves whenever they want, and some are helpful. But viruses? Nope, not alive. And to make more, they have to pull off a heist. They need to find a living thing, what we call a host, and take over. And yeah, they're pretty much always the bad guys. So how does a not alive thing make more of itself? It's a master hijacker. It latches onto one of your healthy cells, then it injects its secret instructions inside and completely takes over, turning the cell into a factory that does nothing but make more viruses. Eventually, the poor cell gets so full it just pops, and all those new viruses spell out to find new cells to hijack. Whoa. Okay, so we've got these heroes, these villains, and these hijackers, but how do they even get around? Let's talk about the invasion and how these germs travel. You are not gonna believe this. They have their own spaceships. Seriously. When you cough or sneeze, achoo! You're actually launching thousands of teeny tiny water droplets. And for a bacteria or a virus, those droplets are perfect little spaceships, blasting them through the air to find a new place to land. So, where do these spaceships come from? Well, the main launch pads are coughing and sneezing for sure. But germs are also sneaky hitchhikers. If you touch your nose and then touch a doorknob, you've just left a bunch of germs there waiting for the next person to pick them up. Now, this might sound a little scary with all these germs flying around, but don't you worry, because your body has its very own built-in team of superheroes ready to save the day. That's right. This amazing team is called your immune system, and it is awesome. It's like a 24/7 security force patrolling every single part of you, always on the lookout for any villains that aren't supposed to be there. And who's the star player on this superhero team? It's the mighty white blood cell. These guys are the frontline warriors. Their whole job is to hunt down those bad guy germs and, well, get rid of them. They're the ones keeping you healthy. But sometimes, the bacteria villains are just too tough, or there are way too many of them. That's when our body's superhero team needs to call for backup. And that backup is a special medicine called an antibiotic. But, and this is super important, antibiotics only work against bacteria. They don't do anything to viruses. Okay, so calling for backup is great, but what if we could train our superhero team for a fight before it even happens? Wouldn't that be a smart move? Well, guess what? We can. This is where vaccines come in. A vaccine is basically a superhero training camp for your immune system.
It gives your white blood cells a little preview of what a specific villain looks like so they can practice. That way, if the real germ ever shows up, your body's like, oh yeah, I remember you, and can beat it super fast. So, your body's superhero team is working really hard. But did you know that you can be a hero too? Yep, you have the power to help them out big time. All right, hero, here are your special moves. Number 1, wash those hands. Soap and water are like kryptonite to germs. Number 2, block those spaceships. Cover your coughs and sneezes. And number 3, protect your team. If you feel sick, stay home and don't share drinks. Every one of these things helps. Seriously, never forget that. Every single time you wash your hands or cover a sneeze, you are directly helping your body's amazing superhero team win the fight. You're part of the team. And just like that, our adventure into the tiny world is over. We learned so much. So think about it for a second. What's one cool new thing you learned today about our invisible neighbors? Thanks so much for exploring with me.